going
What's
on?
up, everyone?
Woo!
Oh, we're coming in hot with the mic right now.
Really hot. Hot and spicy.
What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome. It is Sunday, and we have another awesome podcast for you today. And yeah, it's tonight, actually, in Sweden, because our guest is from Sweden.
It is nighttime, yes.
It is nighttime. I was asking Alaska, I'm like, what time is it? It's definitely nighttime over there, so... Yeah, the time difference.
I think it's like 9 o'clock
when
p.m.
we checked last time. But yeah, no, it's 2:08 right now. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
Like all weeks, it's always something happening. It's never a dull moment. But we are here. We're having a good time. And yeah, it's the summer solstice this weekend. We had, it's summertime here in the Eastern Hemisphere. So wherever you are in the world, happy solstice.
Happy solstice.
Whether it's winter or summer, we are here. And yeah, we almost had 100 degrees yesterday.
Yeah,
this
it's not
weekend.
even the peak of it yet. I think it's going to hit us hard on Monday or Tuesday, one of those 2 days.
I do not like summer in the city, okay? It's not fun. If you ever want to visit New York City, do not come in the summertime.
Don't.
No, it is nasty.
Ill-advised.
It's humid. It's just gross. I always tell everyone, if you want the real energy, come in the fall when everything is changing. Come in the winter even. In the winter is even better. Gorgeous. Go to Central Park. Everything is beautiful. Winter Wonderland. Go to Fifth Avenue. Everything is awesome.
All the Christmas stuff is
everything. Summer is the worst. Go somewhere tropical. Go somewhere better than New York City. That's what I always tell everyone. In the spring.
Spring is fine. The
beautiful
fall's okay,
cherry blossoms. Perfect weather.
Fall is the best because you get to see the transition of the leaves, and you go to Central Park, and the color is such a sight to see.
But in Sweden, it's perfect all the time. That's what I've heard. And the people are perfect. They're awesome. Most beautiful people in the world. I mean, and we also have really talented people.
Yeah.
Really, smart people over there. And today we have one here for you guys to learn more about his company, Rhythm and Arch. We actually had the pleasure of meeting him when we went to the UK, when we was in Liverpool. What a beautiful man. What an awesome company he has. And
I got to play on the kit.
And he got to experiment on it. How did you feel?
It felt good. It felt sturdy.
It looked really cool, too.
It's different, right? It's like the way it's laid out, it's not as maneuverable because it's set on a specific frame. As far as I know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something else we don't know about. But when I sat on there, it was really solid. And we had some vinyl cymbals on there. You can put it with like electronic or acoustic.
It's beautiful looking too. The design.
It's a work of art. So it's definitely something to look at, check out.
Well, I think we should bring the artist of the hour. Would you like to introduce him?
Sure. All right. Well, this is the first for me, so. I would like to ask Lars, are you ready?
Are you ready for us, Lars? Let's do it.
All right, Lars, coming on YenYorkCity Live, here he is, Lars,
Woo!
Rhythm and Arch.
How are you doing?
How are you today? Well, tonight, because you're in Sweden.
I'm fine. Sweden is fine as well.
How was the
It's a
weekend?
bit hot today. Yeah, it's hot. It's up to 80 Fahrenheit. We talked about it just
a little while ago.
That's
Yeah.
50 Celsius degrees. Yeah, about there.
Wow. So is there anything right now going on? I know there's a lot of festivals in that part of the world.
No, not right now. Yeah, but we have some festivals here around. In Gothenburg is a large one. Way Out West is the name. There is large, huge artists coming all around the world. And we had Lollapalooza for some years ago up here in Stockholm, but they only once, and then they stopped to be here.
Wow, Lollapalooza. I remember my first concert ever was to Lollapalooza, and I saw Metallica, the Ramones, when they were still, that's how long ago it was. And who else was there? Soundgarden. Oh my God, that was one of my favorites.
Cornell.
Yeah, Chris Cornell is my favorite singer of all time, and Jeff Buckley. But now they're gone, and I'm like, wow, the music still remains. It's still there. And yeah, those are my favorite type of festivals, when you can see a bunch of different bands in one place. And it's always, the energy is so vibrant and big. And yeah, I love it. But I know in Sweden, in Germany, Norway, there's so many festivals. I feel like the best bands are coming from there right now.
I don't know
And
why, but
it's
you're right.
it's the Viking blood, it's the go for it blood. It's amazing, but it's true. And it's really big over there. So I love how there's a lot of bands right now. What's the music that you're listening to now? Do you go back to like your old favorites, or is there any new music that you're starting to really fall into and like really love right now coming up?
Sometimes older music, but I'm a all eater in music. I listen to all from metal to singer-songwriter to poesy, poetic music, and everything.
Oh yeah.
You see it in my list that I'm spread out in the
Poetic
taste.
music, yeah, that's something that I'm always looking at. Like if it has a feeling and it has the words, I feel that's a perfect combination of a tune, a musical piece is so important to have both. To me, I know as a drummer, is it like that for you? Because I know you're also a drummer. Do you listen more to the beats, the rhythm, the whole song with the poetry and the music?
It's a part of it, and I think it fits together. It could be organic. The beat is very, very important. The tempo as well, and the clock. I mean, but in some songs it could be small difference between chorus and verse. I think to just give the song the right touch. And the most important thing as a drummer, when I was a drummer, was to learn listening to all the instrument around all the time. That's something very important, I think, to just listen when at the same time when you play, you have to hear everything.
That is so
to
true.
Be in it. Yeah. That's my
But
device.
you said that when you was a drummer, you never stopped being a drummer once you are a drummer. I feel like the heart of a drummer is like forever. So let's start. When did you actually fall in love and become a drummer, like with being a drummer?
I never fall in love to be not a drummer, but as I'm a former drummer, I always thinking drums. When I'm driving my car, I'm sitting there, playing all the time. So you never stop to listen to drum and think drum and do the drum everywhere.
Yeah.
Even when you sleep in the dreams.
At what age did you start drumming?
12 years old.
12.
I got my first kit. It was a Pearl Tiger Labs. Yeah.
What?
Did you take lessons, or did you just pick it up and learn on your own?
I took lessons, yeah. And I had, in Sweden it's free to have lessons in music. That's why we had the good large band from Sweden. Yeah.
That's
you
so
can
true.
do it's in the public, you can do it just for free. So all can do it. The poor people, the rich people, all can do learning music.
Oh, I love that.
That's the thing, even for me. So we had a band. When I was 13, we had a band. The name of the band was Tellus. The Earth name, Tellus.
Oh,
Tellus.
wow.
Yeah.
And that was when you were 13, you joined your first band?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
Oh, it's rock. It was a little bit punk, I think. A little bit Sex Pistols was hot during that time. So I think it was it's a mix of punk and rock and pop, a little bit like that.
Did you write like originals, or did you add covers?
No, we did our own.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, our own
How was that experience?
Yeah, that was it started. But then I took lessons. I went further with the professional teachers. As many of the other drummers in my age, they still play. They play with ABBA and those kind of bands. And I were in several bands, and I play with artists around in Sweden, a lot of touring. And so I've played in full time in 4 years.
For 4 years, you played a lot of drums.
Yeah.
And you played it.
I can tell you what. Yeah.
Yeah, you played in clubs.
Yeah, clubs and arenas and smaller and mid-large, and not like Taylor Swift. No, but more clubs. Yeah, around in Sweden.
What was the craziest show you've ever played?
Crazy. Yeah, one in a small club. There was one stair up. It was very uncommon. One stair up. There was a window beside of the scene, and there was a crowd of people, and suddenly we saw that the loudspeaker stack, was very high, 2 meters high. It started to follow out through the window from the first level. I remember the guitarist took it, and we all tried to hold it to
no.
Oh no, mid-show.
The window. Yeah, that was one of the craziest. And then,
yeah, that sounds crazy. There's a random window there next to the
And
stage.
the speaker's about to fly out the window.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What we talked about several weeks after. Lucky that it didn't happen.
But you saved it, right? You saved the speaker.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
And we saved
And
some
the
people
window.
outside. And the window and people outside.
Were you doing your architect career then too, or?
Yeah, later then. I always worked with crafts, and also worked with colors and shapes, and that's my world. And in there is also the music. So later then in my life, I went into the architecture and also run my own company, because when I realized my oldest boy was 2 years old, I decided to stop playing, because I think I should be a family member.
Yeah.
Not only always spending time in a touring bus. So after there, I started my own company in craft, in carpentry, and it became bigger and bigger. We had staff in the company. We had employed some people, and for many years I worked with that. But beside that, I also were involved in the shape, how to construct, how it looks like. So I decided to do education. I went to the high school and took a master in architecture. And since then, I started to write to CAD and build up my own customer base in that field that I always also had before in the carpentry. So that was a good mix.
Yeah, that's a good, well-rounded, avenue to get into, because you never know, like, when you need to work on things, especially if you want to, like, help even that club to not lose his speakers out the window. You can craft something for them to keep it on there.
I can help you repair it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And that is very admirable too. Like especially when you start a family, that's what happened to me. I stopped doing music for a long time. I had my son also, and I just wanted to focus on being the best mother. And I had to kind of put things, and think more like my responsibility and my dedication as a parent. So I completely understand that. But you going into something and starting your own company, that is awesome too, because it's related to something that you are passionate about and that you love also. And it gives you the creativity to be that, what is, that comes out naturally to you.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with my decisions there. Also, I have 5 children totally, so that was a long part of my life.
It's beautiful.
To work with that. Yes.
Do they play music at all? Like any instruments?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, some of them, but some of them. My youngest was a music producer for some years. But I don't know. Now he's in the school again with some other educations. So he's the youngest. He's 25 years old and lives in Gothenburg. And all my children, they live everywhere. They are in. Do you know Finland, Åland, the small island between? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's one of the most beautiful places in the world and happiest, right?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. It is. Yes. Yeah. But I have seen others places. But. Yeah, she's there with her family, and she was a singer when she was young, but she decided to run her own family instead. So she's in another job.
You mentioned that you've seen some other beautiful places. What from your experience when you toured and travel and stuff, like what's your favorite location that you've experienced?
That you've played in?
Different places. I remember South Africa. I loved have been there for some weeks to go the Garden Road to southern part of South Africa, all the coastway from west to east and then back. That was very, very beautiful. Also, Philippines, I love. I've been there once. Yeah. One of the islands that was very beautiful.
Very green.
Yeah. And also, one country I love to be is in Japan because it's so clean, so pure, so very nice people, and a little bit dry. But the people are a little bit dry, but they are very nice otherwise.
Yeah.
That's one of our bucket lists to go to.
Yeah,
Japan.
that's one of my dreams to go. I wanted to go this year for my birthday,
Okay.
but probably next year is more feasible. It's just a lot of things happening at once. That's why I'm like, but Japan, that's one of those places that I definitely want to go and visit. Everyone says Japan. When you ask what is your top 3, Japan is like in everyone's list. For sure.
They are. Yeah. I understand them. Yeah.
And you came to Manhattan once or a couple times before.
Oh,
Because we had a long period. We started in '95 in my family. We started an importing company. We were in the craft field with fired arts, and we imported containers almost from US and from Canada. And we had we worked with factories, with producers around the world. Also Japan, China. We had a factory in China that produced pieces for us, branded pieces. And we exported them. Also, we had distributors we had retailers in Sweden, and also in Norway, Finland, Denmark, and in Germany. So 2011, we sold that company. So there was a German company that took it over. So after 2011, I could concentrate on my architecture life. So since then, I do the architecture 100%.
So what was your favorite place to go to in Manhattan every time you visited?
US, you mean?
Yes.
All right. My heart is banking for Manhattan, New York.
Yes.
I love, yeah.
The energy.
I love to take the train up to Long Beach, to Allegria Hotel up there. It's so very calm, so very cool. You can sit there on the beach reading a book, just be cool. So I love it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, you already know you have friends here, so if you ever decide to come, let's go there. Let's go to Long Beach.
I heard about the festival contest in Central Park.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, that's going to be big. I'm hoping we've already, the first 50, we've done it. With the first 20, got through it. Top 15, got there. Woo! Top 10, let's go. Now, top 5.
Now we're competing for the top 5.
And from there, we have to get to the top 3.
Top 2.
We need, so we need the votes.
Top number 1, yeah, exactly. It's the number 1.
To play there.
Yeah.
So if anyone you know, anyone watching and viewing, if you guys want to vote for free, if you have a Facebook account, feel free. It's was it top music? I gotta get the link. Command vote. But it's all on our socials. And if you have a Facebook account, you can vote for free once every 24 hours. And if you want to donate and support the cause, it does help us as well as it helps the cause to fight world hunger. So
I can start with all my 5 children, then I have 5 grandchildren, and I can start.
Spread the word.
Lars is gonna get us to number 1, guys.
Yes. What up, Lars?
What's up, Lars?
We do our best.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. If we do, we're gonna live stream it.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper's gonna be there. I mean, come on. That's like the Godfather. Okay, we have to be there. And if he's there, and then we also get a spot in Rolling Stone.
Yeah, the Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah. So it's big. It's a big deal. I mean, fingers crossed. So let's hope. It's gonna be awesome.
So Alice Cooper, as I remember one concert here in Sweden with Alice Cooper, where he has released his "Welcome to My Nightmare."
Yeah. Wow.
It's a long time ago.
What a concert to attend.
But I listened to Alice Cooper actually before that, when he was original, his first album. It was pure rock. I think.
Oh yeah. A lot of people try to copy.
It became more commercial, more like Michael Jackson type.
Yeah. So what is your top 5 favorite artist of all time, let's say?
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm listening a lot to Billie Eilish.
Wow, that's very unconventional. That's something I didn't expect because it's a newer generation of music.
Yeah, I know. The last year, I have some songs there, but there are Swedish bands in the jazz segment. I think is really, really, really good. Also, the older one, like Deep Purple, of course, and those bands in the 70s. Also, I love funk and funk jazz and things like that. So.
Would you say like your drumming, like your style of drumming, is based off of like the jazz and rock style?
I would say that I played in the late 70s and the early 80s. I played with Swedish artist bands, rock, pop, funk, some punk, some reggae. Was very spread out.
Wow, even some reggae. Lars he's open
flavorful.
to he got all kinds of seasoning in there.
Anymore, yeah.
I love that.
So I tried to get into all those fields. So, but I think I am a little bit dedicated to the Americana rock, a little bit the cool, little bit of Eagles and that kind of.
That's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like I'm open and I love everything. Like in every genre has its little moments where I'm like, I love that era, I love that part. Or those groups of like different kinds of genres. But at the end, when people ask me, I'm like, yeah, but I'm a rocker at heart, baby. Like rock, metal. I mean, I love all kinds of music, but it's just like, that's my soul right there too. And I love jazz too. It's like moments in time where you feel like you need to feel that type of emotion, you know, soul, funk.
The other day, we just threw on some electro swing music, so...
Yeah, clean the house, you put a little bit of electro, so you know, you just get into that mood, and then you're romantic, you want to put a little saxophone music, you know, put a little jazz, everything. There's a moment in time for every type of music. And then of course reggae, you're in the beach.
As we are drummers, Luna and me, I think we can enjoy if you feel a 4/4 beat very, very tight. You can't stand still.
Yeah.
Just straight with the kick. When it's tight, so that's an amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like it goes with the rhythm, right? And then you get into like, you know, progressive rock and progressive metal music where you're just like, what's going on?
The musician.
You see, the Swedish producer Max Martin, he's from the metal field originally. I know he's doing Taylor Swift and all those larger Beyonce and all those Madonnas. So they got the beat, the kick is there.
Lawrence
says, music is about freedom and expression.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter what genre, good music is good music.
That's true. That's true.
So I want to dive into your rhythm and arch background. So we've met you at the UK drum show for the first time.
Yes.
Was that your first UK drum show you've attended?
Yeah, because I were not in the drum business at all. I just had a feeling of to make something, and that came up from the idea started with a simple and very spontaneous reflection. A simple drum fill over the toms. It reminds me of another legend in the world of illustration and designs, Fibonacci. Have you heard about Fibonacci?
Yes.
The golden ratio shape. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So I tried to see if I turn it upwards, I look at it upwards, I see it looks like a drum fill. So I think something about that, I should do something in drums. So I made a sketch. I put it on my table beside my bed. And 1 year later, I saw that sketch. I think I had to do something with that. So I hired a carpentry. I went in there over summer and over vacation time. I made one prototype. And I sat there playing. Works excellent. So I decided then to do 2 more prototypes in the right material that I found, the ash and the Wenge. The Wenge is an African wood. And
Oh yeah, you
also
told
the
us
look
about
of-
that, the African wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
did
was,
you
because
discover
of-
that when you went to South Africa? Was it something that you saw a lot of instruments were made by that wood?
yeah. For
Particularly?
example, the guitars could have Wenge in its grip. Yeah, it could be Wenge. But also some furniture is doing in Wenge is very nice wood. Looks very nice. Have a good hue. It looks very good. The luster is very very nice. Also hard.
durability.
Yeah. So then I decided to see, is anybody interested to buy this, to purchase this? If they're interested, I had to check any show around in Europe, and then I found the Liverpool, the UK Drum Show, and hired a booth and went there. So we're there the year before you were there. I was there, and I found there was a big interest, and so many people wanted to play. There was line to
Oh,
Wow.
that's
try.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when we
And-
came around, we were like, "Oh, look, it's free. Let's try it out and see how this feels."
Yeah, because there was so many people playing it, and then he wanted to try it, and there was always every time we went around, there was always someone playing it,
Mm.
and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, this is cool. Let's see, we could get to play it and then record it." And then I was like, "I want to interview him," you know. And then you look so nice, and of course you are. And so we had like that small little interview. I was like, "Ooh, I would like to know more about him. He's so interesting." And this company.
You
looks so
surprised
cool.
me because I didn't see your camera. I didn't know really. I didn't know who you were. You just asked me, "Can we interview you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at first when we joined, we were just kind of get the feel of like, you know, the work, the environment, and see like who's there, how people are, and kind of did a walk around and see what to expect. And then we came, but we passed your booth a few times, and we were like, that's really interesting. So
Yeah, but there was
we
always
wanted to
someone
stop.
there checking it out, and
Yeah.
so we didn't want to like, you know, go in there and be like, "Oh, let's get. Like, can we talk to you?" Because you know, you were engaging. You're so engaging to everyone that was interested in explaining it, and I was like, "That sounds really cool. I want him to explain it again
Yeah.
to me and like get it, you know, on camera."
I'm so happy that you came in there with your camera and your nice interview.
You had a nice little setup too, like the way
Yeah.
you mapped everything out. Like it looked very, how'd you say, like almost like a mirror image for both sides.
Yeah, yeah. Wenge on the right side, Ash on the left side.
Yeah.
The Ash was semi-electronic with real symbols and so on, and the Wenge became also semi-electronic with pads. But this year, I had then I booked up in Swedish half in Europe Drum Show.
How was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good because it's a baby show. I mean, they just started it.
Yeah.
So it's not the same size really, not the same size as in UK. But I think it will be very, very large because you cover a huge area in Europe with 500 million people. So not all of them were in UK. UK is a little bit isolated after Brexit, you know. So the mostly English people don't like that.
I would love for them to have one here in the States.
Yeah, like a U.S. drum show.
Yes.
NAM, yeah. The thing with NAM and US, first of all, is very high customs right now with your president.
Oh, yeah, with the tariffs.
Yeah, the tariffs.
Unfortunately, yeah, the tariffs, yes. And also NAM is a little bit complicated. You have to fill a container, ship it over, and
Yeah. Ooh, a lot.
Maybe in future I will do it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And
I think so.
you sell the flight cases with those two?
Yeah, together. Yeah, c'est tutto. With everything in that, but you have to have the symbols on your backpack, or if you will have that. If you have other things around it, you will have it beside. But you can have it go by bus, train, metro, if you are strong. And then you also. The best is you have it in a small car. There is no problem to have it in the.
Was that the reason why you developed what you made
One
outside
of
of
them,
the
yeah,
ease of transport and lightweight?
One of them. First of all was the design, and the second was it should be easy to pack up and mount down. You should be first up to the bar, not the last up to the bar after a gig. You know, the singer is always first. You know.
Yeah. we're always Well, it should be the drummers always first because we have a lot to set up first, you know.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You know, and then we're the last one to leave because we're always the one setting the less stuff by ourselves. So.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm lucky enough to have Yen with me because she helps bring on the stuff, and
that's
then
how I get the muscles.
Yeah.
You are that. You're the road and the humper and whatever.
Yeah, she does a lot of help with bringing the stuff in and out because it's too
It's
much
just
for one
us.
person to lift.
It's just us. Yeah. So
Yeah. What kit do you have?
Oh,
What were you playing?
right now, if I'm playing on my electronic, I'm playing the Roland TD27 KV with the SPDSX and the SPD30. And then with my acoustic, I play on a Tama Rockstar. It's a Chrome. Discontinued. They don't make them anymore. They changed the line. But it's a 7-piece, and I use Sabian cymbals, and a lot of other percussive stuff like octobans and cowbells.
Nice.
I'm a very big like Mike Portnoy fan from Dream Theater.
Yeah,
So
progressive.
growing up, I mirrored my drum set like his, and
The big kit.
and then now I'm like, okay, I gotta downscale it a little bit.
Because it's a lot for big
I listen
shows.
a lot to Dream Theater. Actually, I saw them here in Sweden for many years ago. I love them.
Oh,
Yeah.
with Mike Portnoy or with Mangini?
No, you mean? Oh, what? No, what did you say?
With their drummer
Which
now,
drummer
Mike
did you
Portnoy?
see when, when you saw them with? He saw them with Mike.
Yeah, he were in the Dream Theater in Sweden here. Yes, he played all the years with. But now they have a new drummer since some years ago.
But they had Mike Mangini,
How many years? Like,
and that was about what
And
12,
10 years.
13 years, something like that.
Well, yeah.
Time
And
ago.
then Mike Portnoy was the original drummer, and then he came back.
Yeah, he just came back for a tour. We saw them twice
But-
with Mike Mangini.
Those guys met in Berkeley somewhere in California, or I think so. Story
In
about-
Boston, yeah, they
Boston,
were born and raised in New York, and then they went to Boston for Berkeley, and that's how they met. The guitarist, the drummer, and the bassist.
And the singer, the
Singer's from
French,
Canada.
Canadian,
Yeah.
yeah.
Canada, yeah, French speaking, yeah.
So yeah, that was my background.
So he's obsessed with
That's
your
your bag,
dream,
yeah. You
Dream
see it,
Theater.
people here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Also, when I was younger, I had long hair, but
you did.
not. Now I'm do fade,
You doing a fade? Much
I
easier
do
to
fade.
maintain.
hip hop fade.
You look great. You look great.
I'm gonna
Thank
show your website and show some of the designs you have on your website.
Let's show everyone the designs of the drums.
So let me load it here. So you have your UK your Europe drum show.
Oh, I'd have to
information.
take off a bit on my paper. So, yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
This is the J rig. This is the original concept, right?
Yeah, it is the rig is designed. Here I added to make it full acoustic.
So what do you get with your rig?
There is actually there is a producer. When I started to test that on UK Drum Show, I found there was a good interest. So I started to find producers of all this stuff around in Europe. And I found a good one in Sweden that was produced pieces to IKEA, and they could do the arch, the bows, up and lower arches. So they had special tools for that. So they do that, yeah.
They cut that and craft and they cut it to your design.
Yeah, but they press it with a kind of glue, polyurethane glue. It's rocket science, but they put something in there too, and then heat and the microwaves, and they press together many layers of veneers.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So that's how it's made. Yeah.
I remember touching it and feeling it. It was so strong and
Yes,
sturdy.
very solid.
Felt really good.
Yeah. I worked a lot with that when I developed it to make it stubborn, because when I don't know how you feel, but I know the more expensive e-kit, they are stubborn too. But if you go by the cheaper ones, they were the kick is.
It just pushes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pushes over the sea. So,
So you get
so that was important.
you get the rack and you get the rods.
Yeah, I
What-
don't know if I can show you here. I have a part of it here.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Here,
look
miss-
at that. Okay, let's go back to the.
Check that out.
Ooh,
He's showing
See,
the
demonstration
piece of it
there.
on the stream here.
And take it that one down a bit like that. So on, so like. All right, here. Here is a snare, you know, and here is a part of it. I just cut it off here, and here is a part of the rig. And to for how the snare is, how it works, it's a snare plate like that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, so now open it up here to take out the sound in the bottom. You can have mics under here and so on. And then I have done it with magnets like this.
Oh.
So you just
Ooh.
press, you can slide them like there, here. Now it's a 14-inch snare. So I decided to have it, those two, can you see here?
Yeah.
But if you go for a 13-inch snare with the lights in other ways, you can just move it to there. So you can use 13 inches and 14 inches snares for this.
Wow.
So you just slide and just put it on.
You need an architect designer to come up with that kind of genius right there.
Yeah.
The magnets, you can tell that's a very sturdy piece. Once it's put on there.
Here is I call it the spider. I gave them all my pieces names.
Spider.
Spider.
Yeah, it's a spider.
A rock name.
You got to engrave a little spider on there.
Yeah, we have to have a spider. Very, very important. Then if you know, those here's the wings. And you just press them like that with magnets, so. And then you pick it down and put it all the way. But before that, you have to mount down the pools or the rods.
Symbol rods.
Yeah, here is the Wenge rod. This in wood, and we have in here is a polyurethane. I don't know it in English, but it's a muff. It's a elastic here. In here. Sorry, here. And then I have a. You can put in here the.
Oh, to lock it in.
To lock it into place.
Yeah. And in here, you see this here. Here is a rubber expander inside it. If you screw it up, you can turn that around here. And then you tighten it up. Then you press it down, click. As far you find your settings, your heights and everything, then you always have to press down, click.
Wow.
It's very, very
Awesome
fast.
design. Amazing design.
Yeah, that's you have it already set. You just drop and play. Like it's just click it on. You don't have to worry about like readjusting anything because it's already set every time you put it on there.
Yeah. To spend some time, because I remember always you find the cymbal stand comes a few centimeters to the left, so you have to set it up every time again. But here is as soon as you find your settings, you just click. And also here. I did here with all those hardwares here. You can use the number 5 of the hexagon. I can see here the hexagon screw tool here. You can adjust everything here, like so. You can have the extra arm longer. You can tilt it so you can tilt it like you see. You can in the camera. You can tilt it like that, to right, to left, and you can do everything with that.
It's like you thought of everything. Lars thought about everything when he designed this for every type of drummer in every direction that you would want it to be positioned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Also,
that changes my perspective of not being fixed to be moved around and stuff. Because I remember I said like, it looks like it's just stationary. You can't make any adjustments. But he was shaking his head. No, I'm like, I could be wrong.
You have no idea, little man.
Also, one important thing for me was as an architect and designer, it should be minimalistic, just very, very slim. So
Yeah,
that wasn't
Yeah, that's really
slim.
nice.
Oh,
so
so
a
many
little bit
ways.
construction, yeah.
And you use is that the Tama wing clips that you put on the top?
Oh yeah, that one. is on the fits the 8 millimeters
Oh,
thread. Yeah, I don't know the inch size, but I think they works with many of the sizes.
Yeah, I love those things. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah. So that was it. And then
great demonstration, and that's just the beginning of like that's just one piece that he's showing you like.
Yeah,
the entire...
that's just half of the rig.
Yeah.
And what it does.
One part up and one part down, and just use those rods. Click, click, click. You press them down, press them over, click, 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 and then it's up in 5 minutes.
Wow.
So, at the UK drum show when I played on the J rig, you had the bass drum looked like it was just a singular, like a skin. Is that something that you provide, or is that something that you have worked with another company and?
No, you mean but in UK drum show, yes, I had a real kick, with the pancake size.
Pancake, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that?
Pancake means that there is the head is doing the job, not the shell. The shell is just very, very thin.
That's what's on this image here.
Yeah, as you see here, the shell on the thumb up there, you see the thumb, the small thumb. There's two thumbs with shells that are very, very low. They cause pancake. It means that if you use a very good head, you can get the sound pretty good with if you mic it, or even if you just play without mic. So it's because to have it slim and light and not too heavy, but still have to find a good sound.
Yeah.
It's a little bit about how you tune it.
Is that something that you provide, or is that a company you worked with?
Actually, just the shells I ordered from a company. There's many shell producers around the world, but I gave them all my measurements, and then I do and construct my own lugs. The lugs, where you screw the heads in. And they're doing carbon fiber, 3D printed, very, very strong stubbies. So that makes it, those lugs is very, very special. There, you can't find them anywhere because there's no screws. They fasten to the shell with a kind of a hook in a hole. So it's hard to explain.
Yeah, without seeing it.
So that's one of the models.
It looks great. Like I love the idea. I love the concept.
Okay.
You said it was two different versions, right? There's the Ash and the Wenge.
Let
me see.
And then I put on additional drums like a floor tom. This is a pearl for floor tom, for example. I showed up on that what you showed up there for the first picture. So those you can have. In the last show, I had an extra snare on the left side, as Mike Portney always had. To the left side of the hi-hat. You can put on how much, you can have octobands, you can have everything. You can just put on whatever you want.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, this is the one I got to play on, this model here.
Yeah, he kept talking about it too. He was like, that was so cool.
Very, very special. It's very odd. That's why I tried to see the interest in Liverpool.
And how did you feel the feedback was?
The interest and the feedback of just sit there and play was very, very high. I tried to compare around the other booths. I saw there was many guys in my. So that makes me decide to just make a produce some rigs for having stock. And next time I were in UK again, and then I came up with the new releases of the shells, the round where you were there, and then last time now in Germany, it was very tight after the show in UK, just a few months.
Just a few, I think it was several, just maybe a couple months in between.
Yeah. So still, I can see a very, very big interest, and So there is my position right now.
How does people order or get these J rigs?
Yeah, we sold a few actually, but I think this is so odd. It takes a little bit of time. This is they love to play on it on the show, and we have sold a few. Yes, we have.
Do you produce per order, or do you have like stock already created?
And
A
custom.
little bit is a mix. I have a stock, yeah, we have stock, but we have to customize them because you can order them in different ways. For example, if you want in semi-acoustic, acoustic, electronic, full electronic, so we have to prepare them a bit. It takes about a day to fix it up, and then we can send away a flight case filled with the Rhythm and Arch products on a pallet.
This is the shop here that we're showing on screen. So you have your J rig with the ash, and then you have the it looks like you do have the kick drum with the pancake size.
Yeah.
Right. Both in both woods. You have it was a kick stand combo. Oh, this is for the kick itself.
Yeah, you can either use it to use the real shell, the real drum, the pancake drum. And also if you want to switch over to the roll and floor kick for percussion, you can screw it on there. And that, I think you tried that in UK. I don't remember exactly what you...
I did the pancake
You did,
the drum, yeah.
I think the ash kit beside there was with
the electronic.
The trigger, yeah.
You have the toms.
Such a clean design, such a chic looking design with every little piece. You've really thought of everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got all the tubes, the pipes, the clamps.
Different length, yeah.
A different length, yeah.
And these pieces are meant to like be durable, and the design also is like, it's very unique, but it's made to last. I can feel that it's very made like to last. Once you get a real nice set, it's gonna last you a long time.
And it's not even just about like even having it as like, you know, something that you can use often, which is also great, but it's also a piece of art that you're purchasing too, because it's crafted from a design.
A designer, an architect, man, right here.
But also you can see another custom base is in people that want like to have a beautiful piece of drum beside the piano. So
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm saying.
just thought about that when you said that. I can imagine it.
Yeah, just like a display of something like elegant next to your
Very elegant.
your grand piano, right?
And have a pack of learning play drums, basic maybe, I don't know. But that's why there's other shows than the drum show, than the music show. You can be in a furniture show, you can be on the design shows. There's a very wide. I'm in the searching mode, but I found that the drum show gives me an intentional that's a very, very high interest. So that's why I continue.
Out of all your clients, what type of drummers enjoy or have purchased and use your
I would say
product?
Of today, I don't think there's so many metal drummers because of I have another ring on my drawing table. It's called B rig. It was a double kick, and so that's a project I'm thinking about. But I think there's more of pop, rock, Americana playing, funk, yes, like that. I think the ash is a little bit more to the jazz, because of its light look and the dark one is a little bit more to rock.
I can see this in a jazz lounge club. You know, like their kit being this, and like, have you played in that place? They have a nice looking kit there. It's different. I can see that.
Also, you know, maybe I mentioned that in the show when you interviewed me. There is many clubs with very, very small scenes. Maybe you recognize, you see that, and it means the footprint of this is very, very small. As a mini house, and so I think that's a good. We have, and first time I played with it was on a very, very small blues club, and we played Jimi Hendrix type kind of music, and we had a guitarist and a bass player. We were just three in the band.
Oh.
Trio.
Yeah, and they had space to even dance a bit when they play.
To run around.
No big kick. No
Taking the
drums.
whole
Yeah.
stage.
No legs are sticking out from the cymbals.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's beautiful.
That's awesome. And when you first played it out, like, how many people came up to you and was like, "What is that?"
What are you playing? This
I would tell you something. Particularly that gig, there was a long location. There was a bar on the other side. It was full of people. And on the end of the bar, there were two professional drummers sitting, and they saw just only my cymbals when I played. And then after the gig, they came up to me and said, "What a fucking good sound you got, guy! Yeah? you have to see here. It's just a rig." And they couldn't imagine that, and that was a decision for me to say, even a drummer thought it was other kind of drums, not electronic. They thought it was real drums. So I played with the cymbals, real cymbals, with Nord drum triggers, and the trigger on the kick. So my philosophy there was, if you do the snare, hi-hat, and the cymbals with the higher transients, the higher frequencies, if you are doing them analog, acoustic, then all the lower with the toms, floor toms, and the kick will melt in there, and they will not hear that they are electronic. So that was the idea I had.
Wow, that sounds awesome. That experience alone is like enough to be like, this is gonna take off. So
also, we are also in the. I'm trying to drink something from my Rhythm and Arch bottle.
Oh yeah.
Wow, you got merch, all types
Got
of
some
merch.
electrolytes in you.
We also have the Wenge side and we have the Ash side.
Oh, you're thinking about
You can drink the
everything.
both.
Yes.
It's a mixed drink.
Cheers. I have some Poland spray.
You got it.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Is there any musician that you're sponsoring right now, or that you would love to sponsor, or that you would want them to play your kit?
Show it off.
In the UK, I got questions about that. I got requests, and of today I haven't had time to contract any because also I had a lot of job to do in my architecture business. When I'm writing houses and things. So, but I would love to maybe connect with him. He's a UK drummer, professional. He's touring around the world. Andrew Scott is his name. And
Andrew
we have
Scott.
talked a bit about that. Yeah, he's really good. You can listen to him.
And what
He's
kind of
a-
music does he play?
Play hard rock and it's
Hard
like.
Of course, hard rock.
That'll be
Porcupine
interesting to
Tree.
see. Like
Yeah.
Porcupine Tree.
Sorry. Yeah, a bit like that, but similar, different around it. Yes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, like, you know, that on stage, and then you see like the J rig, and then someone just like beating on the drums as hard as they play, you know, and it's just like there.
Maybe one day.
It'll
it's
happen.
always it always takes a long time to build new odd brands with odd solutions and so on. So, but I'm ready for that, and I'm doing other things in my life as architecture. So I'm not in hurry.
So you're, aside from the Rhythm and Arch, you have another business that you run. It's your architecture business.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that like what do you do in that field? Like, do you just do housing development, design?
Is it industrial?
Yeah.
Is it housing? It's what kind of
Not so-
architect?
Yeah, not so much industrial. I'm doing extensions of house. I said I do new build houses. I write that. I help I have my own customers that order from me interiors, new build houses, and all around houses, interiors, and also some furniture. Right now I'm in a project to do a very, very old-fashioned stool. That is going to be launched maybe in US here in future. So as soon the tariffs went down a bit.
Yeah,
Ah.
hopefully in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can
So
appreciate
I'm
the
a
style.
very broad field of architecture, all from houses, living houses, to smaller projects. But yeah, that's what I'm living off.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. I can appreciate the art of all that. Growing up, my dad had antique shops. So I grew up like seeing antiques and my house being all filled with antiques, and he would restore them, the wood, and also interior design with like the everything in my house was basically custom made. So when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is beautiful. I mean, I can see the passion that you have in what you do. And when you said you're an architect, I was like, oh, and that was my dad's dream. My dad always wanted to be an architect, but he became an interior designer instead. And so yeah. And so I was like, oh, like that's really cool. And so having that also combined with the music, and he's the one that got me into like rock music, into like classical, rock, heavy metal. So growing up, he always loved music and furniture and interior design. So when I saw your piece, I could see that you put a lot of thought into it and how it's, practical and beautiful, not just a piece, but a piece of art.
Also, when you met a customer that ordered something from me, the most funny is when you start doing the project and the process of the project, and then the most rewarding is to see a very pleased customer. That I managed to do the customer lucky, and that's my goal in all this.
So satisfying to see, a happy. And then also when you see pictures and see how your design looks in someone's home, so it's very satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but architecture is very wide also. There's many. I was inspired of many architects around the world, especially the little bit older ones from in the modernism style that comes up from the 20s, 1920 and further. They came up with very interesting. I mean, when you city where you live, there is some very famous architects that created the glass houses, for example.
Yeah, and when I went to UK, I did see a lot of things that were similar to like the Soho part of Manhattan, and just like the old, world. And I love seeing that in the buildings and the gargoyles and the old cathedrals and the churches.
Ornamentic. Also in Manhattan you have both the old style where the houses stands out on the facade, took all the power down to the ground. But then there comes a new idea from Le Corbusier, a French architect in the 1920s, to do pillars inside the houses where the power gets down from the top of the house down inside the house. Therefore they could put the glass around the house. So that's the secret about how a glass house can stay there 50 stairs up. Otherwise it should
starts wobbling and everything.
So that's why, so that was a new thing happened there in the modernism that's started.
So anything you're working on now other than that you can talk about that's up and coming?
I'm doing now. I had a new request for antiques. There is the selling antiques is very famous. So like Bukowski, like in London, what it calls, so I don't remember the name, but they sell very old, very expensive antiques furnitures and arts and things. And they want me to do new interiors for their chains, their shops. There's a kind of, I don't know the word in English, auktion. They sells, people say what they want to give for the pieces, and there are several people that fight on that piece.
Like an auction.
Auction.
Auction. Yeah. So
it's just like several people fight for the pieces. Fight to the death.
Different. Like they're shouting out what they would give for the piece, what they think it's worth, and what they would do and give for the piece of art or anything that they're selling. And like higher bid gets the piece.
The bidders.
Yeah. Bidding wars.
So that's what I'm doing right now. Also doing a lot with culture houses, older houses. I work together with a museum to find out what they are. Also, they are specified in a special importance. Some houses so very, very old that you can't touch it. You can't do anything.
Yeah, they'll crumble.
Oh yeah. So very, very.
I was gonna
it's-
ask you too if you work with museums.
Yeah, I do. I have a communication with them, dialogue over houses, and then they're taking me to maybe do some adjustments, maybe extensions, maybe put some new doors and things like that. Then I have to write them up, and it's a long process to make it go through them, and very, very expensive as well, of
Yeah.
course. So because of that.
Expensive, but it's good. It's good money. You know, I mean, but you just have to know, you know, how to get through it without ruining a piece that's so ancient.
Yeah. I remember in the touring bus, you have food on the table. This is still for me. I have the food on my table. So I work for my food.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit more.
Food in the roof.
Yeah, I'm older.
Just stay out of the rain. So, do you have any drum events that you're planning to get to soon?
Sorry.
Drum
Yeah,
events.
like drum events. Any music events that
Well,
you're gonna be attending?
Oh yeah, the only one is not so many that you have in US. You have them, and you have several others around in the southern states and around there now. But I'm focused here in Europe right now, and the next show should be the Europe Drum Show. But I haven't really decided yet. I haven't booked yet, but there's something I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, because the UK drum show recently just passed, right? Or is coming up.
Yes,
They have
it's
two of
coming up,
them.
but-
It's coming up.
There's one in October, I think.
Yeah, it's in October again. Yeah,
Ah.
but it's more for the UK market, I think. It's not more for it's for all the Europe market. But since they started the Europe Drum Show, I think that's what I should focus on if you are living in Europe. The UK is outside Europe.
Yeah.
No, it's inside Europe, but it's outside Europe.
It's a lot farther to travel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I went there, I took my car, I filled it up with everything, and
You
took it down
drove
to,
Wow.
yeah,
from Sweden.
Very long.
I didn't
Yeah,
even know
no.
that was like a thing that you could do.
Yeah, I did. I took it back. It was
No,
so funny.
wow, you trekked all that stuff. So did you have like a huge truck or like a van or
No.
or like a pole thing? What do you call
No,
those?
I'm lucky I could CAD and I can write it up. Everything should fit in my Audi. My more
That
normal.
says a lot.
Wait, the whole
Yeah.
booth was in your Audi?
Yeah, I couldn't believe myself.
What?
I couldn't do that.
That's like us with our gear. He has a 2-door sedan type,
coupe.
a little coupe that everything fits. And this is acoustic.
It's a small little Civic.
It's a Civic
Yeah.
car.
And
Yeah, but if you have that huge kit you talk about,
yeah,
you
I could
put
fit everything in that little
It's
car.
just us two, and then everything in the back seat, in the trunk, and then everything is like Jenga in there, like a puzzle.
I had to learn how to pack really well.
And
You
I was
should
like,
have
you
a
can't do
drawer.
this. You watch me. I'm gonna fit all of this. I know. I've been doing drums forever. Like I could do it. And then he did it, and I was like, wow.
When we had our last show, she was like, I want to feel comfortable because we have to drive 3 hours up
Yeah.
north to our festival. And
Okay.
and you know, we had a new rig.
The merch booth.
We had the merch booth information, like all the stuff on the
Yeah,
merch.
yeah.
We have our lights, our you know, the electronic drum set because you know
the rig.
it was no way I was gonna fit the acoustic in there with everyone. So
No.
and it was also Yen and Christopher, her son, who was doing video for us.
Yeah, yeah. He does video.
Oh.
He's
And-
19. Yeah.
And so I was able to fit
Yeah.
everything in the car and still have enough space for Yen and Christopher. So
No, okay, that's good. Put him, and you could get in your microphone too as well.
yes, yeah.
In your knee.
We found a little microphone slot in the cup holders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No coffee then.
No,
I need coffee.
You know,
It's my
that's good.
fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Wow, you just everything fit in there. That just proves to
Yeah,
you guys
two-
that
three
you guys
kids.
could fit everything in there. All of that.
Yeah. Man can
Yeah.
do As
Everything.
how long is that drive?
Also, 2 days. First from Stockholm down through Denmark, and then through Germany, through Brussels, through Netherlands, into France, and then to Calais. There is a city in France.
That's like us going to California or something.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, next time. But
Yeah.
no with the car.
Now it-
No, we gotta take a train.
like a train.
Yeah. Oh
So,
man.
yeah, no, then over to Dover, the southern UK, and then the car up to Liverpool. Yeah.
And you stayed
So
there
did
for
that
all
time-
the days, right? It was 3 days. Did you stay a little longer? We stayed 5 days.
Oh, you did, yeah, yeah. But how do you like Liverpool?
I liked
was
Liverpool
nice.
more than London. Strange
You do?
enough. Yeah, I
Mhm.
liked it. It was very nice. We went to the museum. We spoke to a
A Scouser.
he was like 90 years old.
Yeah, he was a native Scouser. He's
We spoke to him
Oh,
for
so
like an
Liverpool,
hour. We were just talking, and he was talking about the Beatle days, how he grew up and he saw the Beatles, and before they blew up and they became famous. And he's like, and we used to have shiny shoes, and we would have be well-dressed men, and because he saw us all dressed up, and it was that picture, the one that we use in all our promos.
yeah.
We were taking pictures
At
and
the
he
museum.
saw in the museum in Liverpool. That's in the museum. Strange enough, our band is called Sky Museum, and he loved the way we looked. And then he just came up to me, and really sweet gentleman, and he was just telling us the whole story of Liverpool. And he said that he loved going to Central Park, and he spoke to a stranger in Central Park, and he's like, New Yorkers are the best people, are the nicest people, but in UK, don't expect the same. We're different. No one's like me, And then it was beautiful, and it just made me fall in love with him, his story, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you sit down with someone and you get to know their story, it's a piece of them that you have in your storybook. And I appreciated that time with him. That was one of my favorite moments, is just talking to someone, a native.
Yeah. Good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you stay long after?
No, just the one night more after, and then I visited, of course, Cavan, the Beatles Museum, and I walk around a bit, and I love the nightlife. Even that I had to sleep a little bit over, so I had to sleep, but I went out all the night long. But
Man, I need to hang out with Lars next time if we go there, because you go across you do the whole trip. You're down. You're like, Lars is like, we're gonna have an adventure. I like the nightlife and everything. Like, whoa.
Did you go to where the shops are? It's like a outdoor mall.
yeah,
Nice
everywhere. I hope so. I don't know. Liverpool is not that very large, so I had my car there too, so I could take my car around and walk. Mostly, I walked around.
Yeah,
So,
walking around was nice too.
Is it the
Yeah,
same?
very nice.
Is it the same in Sweden as it is in the UK, where you drive on the other side of the road?
I was not afraid because we were on vacation with my family for many years ago. During that time, I was afraid in advance. But when I came in there, I'm a drummer, and I practice a lot with my left hand because I'm a right hand. And I had very easy to switch from left to right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when I'm gigging, I'm trying to do the goofy play many times to just build up the left thinking.
Try to switch the brain side.
I wonder if we can find any footage of Lars playing. Do you have any footage on YouTube of any of your gigs or bands?
Yeah, I have an old one with. I found we have since that time is in the end of 70s and early 80s.
On YouTube?
I found one actually. I don't remember. That was not so common during that time. We had in the YouTube was not in the was not.
But
didn't
archives, do you have any archives that you download and put it up on the internet on YouTube?
No, I don't. Sorry, I don't. But
It
I
would
have
be
one
fun.
for YouTube. I have one there, but if you go up to YouTube, there's the band was Papa Freud. Was a band we were gigging a lot around in Sweden. There is actually 2 covers we played, one Beatles song and one I think it was a Hugh Cocker or so. But we were there was Papa Freud was a little bit inspired by the Blues Brothers and those kind of Chicago blues with brass and. Can you find Pepper Freud?
Is it pepper, like the seasoning pepper?
No, if you go to YouTube and print Peppa, and then Freud's like the psychologist Freud. Freud.
EUD.
Yeah, there's Papa Freud's.
How do you spell the first part?
Papa, P-A-P-A.
Oh, P-A.
Like Papa, father.
Papa.
Yeah. Papa Freud's. I was very young there. That's the one of them I could saw, because there was in direct casting in out. There was a public record actually that time in a program in Sweden we had
This one here with the lips?
no Papa Freud's. Put an S after Papa Freud's, maybe if you find it. I don't know.
A lot of cartoons.
No, it was so many years I look at it, but I know there is on YouTube. On YouTube.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we are.
Yes, we are.
Right now.
It's nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I should be prepared of that. Then I could give you. See if I can find it here. Pepper fries.
Because I would love to see you in
when I was
action. When in action, you know, it would be cool.
That was a gig. We had a little bit of fancy clothes, and there was but it was.
What was the name of the song? Or the
song?
Yeah. Do you have the play that you played on the title?
I don't remember exactly. There was one letter. What is the Beatles song with letter? There's many bands did covers of that one, and we did that song. There's a little bit of it's a ska, you know, the fast reggae during that time, but it's based on another cover. I don't remember the names. Sorry, I should be prepared of that, and I could give it to you. I can maybe find here. Is that YouTube?
Came across Bad Papa Band.
Yeah. I don't know why they found it. Sorry. There it is.
So Lars is looking for the link for us. In the meantime, anyone has any questions in the chat that's viewing right now, feel free to type it in. We're also streaming live on Instagram. If you're watching on Instagram,
still live on Instagram?
Yeah. Make sure you join us on Twitch and on YouTube if you want to ask any questions. Subscribe to YouTube if you're not subscribed already, so you get alerted on future shows and updates. We have another show next week. We are happy to.
Also, if you guys are in the New York City area or New Jersey area, we are playing Dingbats on the 17th of July, which is how many days? Like in
2 weeks?
2 weeks or so. And so we're preparing for that, and that's going to be awesome. And we're also writing a new song. We're dabbling a little bit yesterday. So that's going to be big. We also have a lot of new announcements after July 17th that we can start promoting, and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for more events coming in the rest of the year. So yeah, Sky Museum's doing a lot, and of course vote, because that's going to be awesome for us to play the Central Park stage if we get to that point. We are in the top 5 now. So yeah, it's a lot of exciting things happening. And
lastly, if you're watching this on YouTube after our show and you want to ask a question to our future guests, feel free to type it in the comments, and then
Lars, did you find it?
I didn't, because the last time I listened to that was 5-6 years ago. It should be here somewhere, but I think that somebody put it out on YouTube for maybe 10 years ago or so. So I will try to find it later then.
Yeah, link us later if you find it. I know it's like when you're searching for something, it's like it could be just like a word or something that's different.
Yeah, I tried to put the name of the show. It was a weekly show in Sweden, And there was a very famous artist from one from US or from England, I think there. And I remember that half of the Swedish population was sitting and see that during that time. It was
Wow.
all live, so in the
Super
studio.
cool.
in
I gotta
TV
see it.
studio.
So when you find it, definitely send it to us.
Yeah, I will send you the link then if I find it.
Lars, do you play any other instruments or do you sing?
You know, I have an education in classical percussion, snare, marimba, timpani. But it was in a 2-year long education in that. I did it not because I love classical music, more about to learn more of the techniques and the nuts. So, but long time ago. But it was cool to know that. So that could I say I play, but I can very helpfully play guitar, but no bass, not so very good. Are you
So
playing any more instruments?
I threw him into being a completely whole multi-instrumental man because we don't have a guitarist.
Yeah.
And he dabbled a little bit in guitar and I said, you're not that bad. He's like, oh, no one ever told me I was so good on guitar. I was like, you're a drummer. You could do anything, okay?
Yeah.
Drummers
so
could do everything.
all the music that we've created in Sky Museum, I played the guitars, I played the bass, I played the keys, I played the drums. We had special guests, musicians that joined us. For instance, at our not this past single, but our last single was called On Awake, and we had a guitarist from another band called Parthian play lead on the song.
Yeah, he did the solo. So that solo is killer.
Yeah. So we do, get guests to join us on our songs to collaborate with.
We had a producer from London produced the first single, Splinter, and he was on and he played guitar and we co-wrote the whole thing, and we did it when the pandemic was nobody played anywhere, we couldn't play no shows, and that's how this all started, because I was like, well, we miss playing live, and then all our friends that were musicians, mostly drummers, played on Twitch, played online, and they started streaming because, you miss playing. You miss doing all the things that you did when you can play in venues, but all of them were closed. So he's like, well, let's just start like a podcast where we can interview drummers, talk about what they love, and they can still play live, and we would have them play live here, or we would show all the clips and things that they do to promote them so they can continue to entertain while being at home. And then I met a producer, multi-instrumental, Joshua Wu, and he's in London, and we decided to collaborate and write a song together through just long distance, and it worked. And that's how it started. And then he said, oh, we should start writing music together. And then we started writing music, and then it's hard to find musicians that you connect with, right? But because we already had that connection, and we both of us kind of go in and out of like, okay, we like this and let's make this, and we're just forming the music as it goes, and it became something that we call Sky Museum. So that's how it ended up.
I also remember that when you play with the musicians around the world. There was a guy I know from our importing company. We had a meeting every year down in Holland, in Amsterdam. That company were from Japan. He was an American guy from California, but he moved to Japan. He used to live there during that time for many years, and he had a material of songs. And he showed me, because he know that I was from a drummer, and he asked me afterwards when we had sold our company. He asked me, Lars, can you listen to this? What do you think about that? And he had 8 songs. And I said, you need to have a real drums on. So I put a track with the drums and Logic, the software Logic, and sent to him in Japan. And he had a bass player in Australia. And there come in another man from LA. He used to play with people from Steely Dan and was a guitar player. And we started to do the music during that way. And there was engineer and technical engineer down in Tokyo that listened to this. Then and he said he had mixed, for example, Toto's one of their albums.
Wow, Toto.
Yeah. So I was really proud to be involved in those guys. I mean, Steely Dan and whoa. And
were you there to see when we in the UK drum show they had the Steely Dan drummer there? Did you go see him play? I didn't
because I was so busy. So I didn't go around.
That was one of the drummers we got to see, and it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's amazing.
He said anyway, that kind of music is so organic, and you should be in the same room when you do this, that to create the right feeling. So we dropped it down, the project. So as you told me, you played with people around. I have to mention that.
Wow, that's amazing. So what are your top 5 drummers, your favorite drummers of all time? Because I always ask all the drummers on the show, what are their top favorite drummers, the 5 top?
Okay. Steve Gadd, Simon Phillips, Jeff Porcaro, of course, and 3 of them. And then I have one in Sweden, Per Lindvall. He played with ABBA, and he had made 8,000 tracks recording around in Europe and for many albums. He's a drum machine that before the drum machine was in the market, he was a drum machine.
Wow.
So very tight, so tasteful, so it plays so tasteful. So it's amazing. And what do we have more? We have very many good drummers from US. And today I listened to many drummers from Latin America, from South America. They play the Latino music. They are so fucking good. So.
Yeah.
Also Benny Greb, of course.
Benny Greb. Oh, amazing. That's one of my favorites right now.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah. So I think I catch some of them. But on the Insta musicians, I mean the Insta drummers also that are contracted and got their money from the producers, I can't stop listening to. They are so very, very good, many of them. So high a level today.
Get to catch Benny at the UK drum show that one
Sorry?
time? Did you catch Benny at the UK drum show at all?
I heard they released some tickets, and I think they were sold in 5 seconds.
Oh,
so I didn't. No. Sorry, but I think I saw him there over there somewhere. But if I had time, I should go around a little bit more. But and the last show in Europe, I had one with me. My girlfriend was with me there, and we collaborate, and that makes me go around, check around a bit around on the booth and see other drummers and met with other guys and some other Swedish exhibitors. So that was really good. Just to have one with me next time.
Yeah.
So the kind of time to see other things.
So we are at the last part of the segment. Yeah, this is Rocket. He is a 1-year-old Pomeranian. Pomeranians are from Germany.
From Germany?
They are from Pomerania, Germany. So I have a German dog.
So beautiful.
He's a beautiful boy. He's a beautiful boy. But sometimes when he wants attention, we have to grab him so he doesn't bark so much. He's a little puppy. Do you have any pets?
We did have. We used to have. When I got my family, they are old now. As I told you, I have 5 grandchildren. My oldest boy is 42 years old, sorry.
Wow.
And my youngest is 25. So we have, when we lived together, all of us, we had 2 dogs actually. One was a Wheaten-coated terrier. I think there is they're the same color as your dog.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 dogs too. My other one is a Pomsky. It's a Pomeranian mixed with a Husky, and she has blue eyes, and she's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And she's older. Oh yeah, yeah. I love animals. I always have to have a little doggy, a little mascot.
That's nice with dogs and pets. We had a Yorkshire Terrier for some years.
Oh, those are really beautiful too. Very loving.
Very, very.
So we're in
Oh
the
yeah.
segment where I get to ask you, and I gotta thank you because you really did the assignment. And you gave us the 12 songs to the soundtrack of your life. You even put it on Spotify, which is the dream. I want everyone to have their segment and all their songs, which it talks about what you really feel are the songs that express your life, whether it was a song you grew up
Mm.
listening to, the first song you learned on the drums, which I didn't ask you. Which one was the song you learned? The very first song that you really nailed it, that you were like, wow, I'm
Yeah.
played on the
Yeah.
drums.
Mm. Yes, my first song there in my life, I think I was 11 years old. The band Deep Purple, they released the album Machine Head.
Purple.
And the story of that I heard afterward, many, many years later, then when Frank Zappa played on the Casino in Montreal Festival, and the smoke went over the water, Geneva Lake Geneva. And they had one song more to do for the album, and then Smoke on the Water was come up. But I was not so stuck with the Smoke on the Water. There was other songs on that album I loved. For example, the song Lazy is a very blues-based song with John Lord on the Hammond, and really good. But it's a little bit long song for this. So I chose two other songs from this album that I really like, still listen to. Never Before is a song there, and also Highway Star, of course.
Oh.
This is the baby part of the hard rock with a lot of blues in it, and the very good musicians, and Ian Gillan on song, and Ian Pace on drums, and all his rolls, his pedals go so fast in space. He plays so pushy. He's in the front all the time. He pushed the playing. So that's my. I also remember I was in a class party in my 6th grade. I think that was my first goosebumps when I heard those songs, because they played that album on the party.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're on number, what, 4?
Number
3?
two. Number 3, yeah. Shipbuilding with Elvis Costello. Listen, you may have heard about him. Yeah. We were in, now it's a little bit later than in my life, but we were in a business trip in Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. And my youngest boy was born, and I were out walking around with what it's called, blah blah, a pram. Pram is for babies.
Mm-hmm.
Is it called pram?
Pram.
A trolley.
Oh, a tram, like a tram.
Tram. Sorry,
Yeah,
tram.
yeah.
My wife during that time was in a seminar, and I were free with my old boy, and we walked around. It was a little bit slow rain and very, very English, Northern English weather. And I went down to Belfast with him and in the tram, and went in, walk around there. I remember that Titanic harbor was there. They built it in Belfast. And with all those mural paintings of the war in Northern Ireland, there was a war in the 70s and 80s with the IRA. There was huge paintings on the walls. And then I went into a music shop and bought that album with Elvis Costello. And today, when I listen to Shipbuilding, that song from that album, I remember that trip very, very much.
Yeah, music is like a teleport. It teleports you to a time period in your life. Yeah. That's why music is so magical.
Yes. And that's what I can say with that song. It was very hard feelings. And now, do you want me to explain the next song?
Yes, please. The other one is the
Swedish band In Flames. It's a Gothenburg-based band. They are a little bit of Dream Theater style, a hard rock metal, very tough screaming song. It's I like it very much because in my life, I like to go skiing in the Alps,
Ooh,
in the slopes. Yeah, I did a
amazing.
lot.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. But when I have that song, Calm Clarity, in my ears, it goes very, very fast. And it goes very, very bumpy noise in the pistes. I love to have it there. It's so many,
Just
it's so
flying
much
down the hills.
Survive.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
adrenaline. Yeah.
Giving you that extra power.
Yeah. But there's the slopes downhill, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I can explain about that song. I connected very much with skiing in the slopes. And of course, you remember, I don't know, you heard about the rumors, the album by Fleetwood Mac came out in the 76, I think.
Yeah.
It's one of the best albums I ever know. Fleetwood Mac was a very competent band. They were before that album. There was blues band with Peter Green on guitar, and they play very pure blues like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and that kind of blues. But suddenly they came up with that one, Rumors, and of course I choose one song. I could choose many of them on that album, but Oh Daddy is one I like to listen at. Listen on, and because of all my children.
Yeah.
I have 5 children, and Oh Daddy is the song, and I love the text.
Oh, I can feel that you're a wonderful father. I can feel it, like the love that when you describe being a dad and your children. I see the light come out of your eyes, like you're so proud and you love your family so much.
I do, really. You're right. So there's a little bit. There's many songs on that album, of course. So I have next song, Teardrops, Womack and Womack. Yeah. Also, same there. We used to go. I have to have a little bit more to drink. Rhythm and Arch.
Rhythm and Arch. So is that water produced for Rhythm and Arch exclusively, or is it just the merch? Is it just a canister?
That was an idea of my girlfriend when we're sitting in the car down to Germany for the Europe Drum Show.
Yeah.
She said, we have to do something with the logotype and put it. We glued it on a empty pet bottle and filled them with some good to drink, and we have it in the booth. So that was just marketing.
That is smart. That is very smart.
So that's why
Good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, we are with Teardrops. Womack and Womack was a very interesting band. What I heard about the history of them, maybe it's not always true, but they were a large family. Womack and Womack were brothers and sisters and fathers and grandfathers and children and pets, and everybody were in the touring bus, touring around in US during that time, 70s, 80s maybe. And the song Teardrops reminds me of the visits I did in Chamonix, is in France, in the Alps. And I used to go there skiing many times in my youngness. And there was a club there called Chambre Neuf. Always party. It was skiing during the days and party in the nights. I don't know if I ever slept during those weeks over there, but I remember I remember especially, particularly that song, Womack and Womack. The sound of it, if I listen of it today, it's very pure, it's very simple, it's just bass and drum, it's some guitars, and there's two singers that sing very, very pure, not so much mastered, not so much mixed, just right in. So that's why it's very true song. I love it, and also remember me about times I was visited in Chamonix in Europe, in Alps.
Wow, that sounds like a time to be in. Just skiing in the daytime, party at night, great music all around.
Yeah.
Sounds like an exciting life. And
Are
going
you
into
are you are you skiing?
I wish two things that I wish I could do is
Uh,
being an amazing person in the Alps, like skiing. It just looks like so fucking awesome. And
yeah,
being an awesome surfer, like surfing, like
yeah.
anywhere, like California, Hawaii, and just when I see people surf or ski, I'm like, that must feel so amazing
I
to be
went
able to do.
I went snowboarding once, and
Mhm.
that was hard.
It looks
And
very
What
hard.
about what about your hands when you fall?
oh, and I fell on my back all the time.
Oh, that lucky for you.
uh,
Otherwise, you can't play drums anymore.
no, no, but I left there with a sore bum, so that's not fun. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
and I did surfing once,
Ah,
but I couldn't stand up on the board, and I came out with rashes. So I was like, I'm not doing surfing anymore.
Maybe it was the stuff that you have to put on
it
the
was
surfboard.
the wax,
The
yeah,
wax.
the wax on the
Maybe
board.
you're
Yeah,
allergic to
yeah.
it.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
but when I see people that are really good at it, I'm like, oh, that must be a feeling
Yeah,
in life, like invigorating.
I know they made skis, but they're like short form skis. Like they're not as
mhm.
long anymore.
The mini
And
skis. Yeah,
yeah, the mini
yeah,
ones. Those look pretty fun.
yeah. Yeah, that's fun. All ski is fun. Yeah. Also snowboard. I like it. But no, I was some years ago I did it. But I think I started skiing before I started to play drums because my father bought me some equipment for ski when I was 10 years old. So
Uh,
that's why I started. And so my dream is to play in a party band in the Alps.
that'd be fun.
Ooh.
I don't know, but it should be during that time. Maybe nice to ski during the days. But we used to play a lot in northern Sweden during the 80s, up in the ski resorts. And always when you play there, go up and play 1 week and then back, and then or go further on the tour. But what always nice to ski some hours during the day and play in the nights in the clubs. So that's good. But wish I should do it in the Alps because the mountains there is a little bit higher, a little bit more, a little bit
Is
more.
the snow softer there, or is it harder there?
It's the same.
Yeah.
I think if you go by the softest snow is Japan. I
Oh.
think there is always new snow in the morning when you wake up. Uh, I haven't been
Oh,
there skiing, but I heard a lot about that.
that sounds
Power.
magical.
Bucket list for you:
Yeah.
skiing in Japan.
That sounds
Sorry.
magical.
It's a list for you to do. Ski
Yeah,
in
that's
Japan.
it.
That's a
Yeah.
goal right there. That's a goal.
Yeah, yeah. I have a list, and I should add that one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because you
So-
sound like you're really you're an expert at that. Like you've done it for so long that you're really good at it.
You mean skiing?
Yeah.
But it's a body sport. You have to be very well trained, have good condition because it depends on how you ski. You can also go down to the Alps, just be there, sitting, have a beer in the sun, and have nice.
Yeah.
In the slopes, very cool, very easy. You can do. It's just to be there, very nice.
All about the vibes.
People that never have skiing, they're also very afraid because they think, oh, now I have to be so very good at that because people look at me. But that's
Oh.
no, you don't. Just do it. Go
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to.
Or you fall a couple times and people are just like flying right by you.
No, it's just nice. Everything.
So what
Yeah,
number
so-
are we on right now?
I think we're
We are now. We are at Thin Lizzy, I think. Yeah, no, yeah. Opium Trail, Thin Lizzy. Yeah.
Okay.
You. I know you're in the hard rock field. Thin Lizzy, you're familiar with that, of
Yeah,
course.
my dad used to listen to Thin Lizzy, the song Jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
Yeah.
That's my first Thin Lizzy album. Yeah, '76 it came out.
Yeah, that was a
I
good one.
remember. Yeah, that's that album here, but the Opium Trail is I see what the it is Sorry, I have to see. Opium Trail is on Bad Reputation, the album's name. Yeah, it came after the Jailbreak, and I just like the Opium Trail. I could choose another song from them, but Opium Trail has a good, nice play. It's a good song. And I remember I saw them in Sweden in 76, 77 or somewhere there. And Phil Lynott, the singer, and he was more of a poet. So his text is more poetic than rocky. But I love to see them. And so he was on the front of the stage and was very powerful and very, very. There was the fucking best concert in the picture of sound. The sound picture was just perfect. It was still listening home in the stereo. So. Yeah, Phil Lynott, he was the hero from that time at the end of 70s, and he's also from Dublin. Yeah, his statue they have there on him.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So, if you guys want to listen to Opium Trail, it's a good musicians, good song. I love this.
Yeah, we'll listen to your list when we end the show, and then we can hear everything that you've mentioned.
And then next.
So number 8.
8 is in 2015, I took a very simple car, a larger car where carpenters have. I had an extra car there. So I put in some interior in there, a bed and somewhere you can cook dinner and so. And I did it for my youngest son first. We said we could go to a festival around here in Sweden, we and him, because he was only 15 years old. And I think maybe dad and son go to a rock festival, pop festival, house festival, anything. But he became a little bit older, and his friends was more important than me, so it became not that. So I took the car myself and booked up at Montreux Festival in Switzerland. Have you heard about that festival?
Oh,
Montreux.
That's so cool.
I haven't heard about that.
There's a lot of great festivals in Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh, what is the best in all fucking world? I think.
And the Netherlands.
Overseas. Because there is everything. There's jazz, there's metal, there's grunge, there's indie, everything is there. And it was very, very beautiful. But I saw there's an English artist, PJ Harvey. She was there and she had a concert with a 9-man band. And there it was... the show she had, it was about the suffragettes. The suffragettes was the same as what David Bowie was singing in the Suffragette City, but his song was about London. But PJ Harvey, she had a show that handled the suffragette situation in Northern England during the 1800th century, and it was like a theater. And that song here. The Down by the Water was one of those songs. I like it.
Yeah, so I like that song too.
Yeah, you know about
it.
Yeah, of course. And have you heard about the band 16 Horsepower?
I haven't, no.
No.
What kind of music?
Alternative. With people from the mountains, and the singer is a little odd. He plays some kind of harmonic, some kind of instrument, very odd, from the southern, from Cajun style.
Oh.
And they have natives in the band, and they play very odd songs and very powerful and very strong in many ways. It's hard to explain. You have to hear it. And Stråfot reminds me of when we moved outside Stockholm, because I'm born in Stockholm in Sweden and lived there for all my life. But we had a trip where we moved for 1 hour west from Stockholm to the countryside. We bought a small, not a real farm, but we bought land. close to the water, and we had some houses there. We had the main house where we lived, and outside our house, on the other side from the water, the other side, we have a lot of wheaten. We had wheat fields around the house on the other side, and that song "Strawfoot" means a bit of the wheaten, a grass that grow on that fields. So that's why I like to listen to that, because I did during that time. So swaying of the wheaten on the fields. So that's a connection I do with that song. And that song has a very odd way to sing. It's a very odd way to play all the instruments.
Is it almost like world music? Where they have
a little bit. World music. It's a little bit of folk. It's a portion of folk in there, and I can't find another band that reminds me of those. I don't think they are still.
That's good though, when no one can
really
remind
unique.
you. Yeah, because no one can really pinpoint. Oh, they sound like a specific artist or anything like that. Strange enough, he showed one of the songs to his coworker and said, "What do you think about this song?" And it was Mind's Eye. It was one of our songs.
Yeah.
She's like, "She kind of reminds me of PJ Harvey," and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "I've never got that comparison, right?" So like when you mentioned that, I was like, "You don't hear about a lot of people that are really big fans," but I remember I was like, "Wow, that she's been around for a while too," but. You definitely want to be a unique person to stand out, because that's what makes a person kind of intrigued. If it's a little, it's like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but I love it, or I really like their sound, but it's unique, you know? So that's probably what you feel when you listen to these artists, is very unique sounds within the categories. They're all different type of genres too.
Yeah, always find the comparison to it's not all the time, but sometimes you do.
Yeah.
So with I can come with that later than with the last song here, how I think about when producing music. Loser. Yes, loser.
Who are you calling a loser?
No, there's a band I don't listen very much to them.
Yeah, 3 Doors Down.
I like that. It's kind of grunge, kind of a little bit rock. It's good musicians. I like the guitar playing and the drum playing. Also, everything with them. But I'm not listening so very, very much to all those. But I stick to that song, Loser. I try to figure out what the text is about. I can't understand really, but I can imagine some things in it, but I can't describe it. We had just bought that farmhouse that I described, and we had a huge renovation to do in several years. And I remember we had I have some text up here. We had on the high volume on our rock blaster with a really, really best rock song I could ever see in the Loser. And I used to play that song.
At first, I thought before I saw that it was 3 Doors Down, I thought it was a Beck, because he has a song also.
Okay.
Named Loser. So I was like, at first I was like, is it Beck? Was Beck popular up in there and around when he's still touring now, but he was pretty popular in the 90s and early 2000s, but he's still touring now.
Are you talking about Bach or Buck? No.
Beck.
Beck is another band.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't. No,
he wasn't popular. Yeah, because there's some musicians that are popular here in the States and they're not that known over there, vice versa. Yeah, because I thought that was that song. And then speaking of grunge, the next song.
I can feel grunge in the Loser. Yeah, I can do.
Yeah.
If you mean Loser, if you talk about the song Loser.
Yeah, they definitely have like they came from like that post grunge era when they came out too. But I do see Audio Sleeve in your list, which
Audio Sleeve,
gets me excited. Yeah.
That was the Soundgarden singer came in there after Soundgarden, I think. Yeah, I like that song because Kuchai's it's so heavy. It's so very heavy. My son have a car, electric car with 480 horsepower, and we used to just put on that Kuchai's on the highest volume. And that's the rate.
That's a great driving song.
Not like that. You have to sit like if you go rocket up to the moon, because he said, Dad, just press on the bells and everything and put your head back on the seat. Now you have to see the pedal in the bottom and the Kucha is in the highest volume and 480 horsepower is
flying down the road. Did you take the car out to the strip in was it in Germany? There's that one strip where you can go really fast, like on the road.
Yeah, Autobahn.
Yeah.
Where they have all the car commercials.
Yeah, next time I will ask him to follow me. I can take his car, maybe.
Yeah, and then put that song on.
Yeah, well, in repeat. Yeah, that would be good.
And that has to be in the playlist.
But are you familiar? You listen a lot to that kind of music, or?
Yeah, Yen's a big fan.
Yeah, I'm an original grunge kid, so by the time, grunge was really big when I was like 12. I was in junior high school. And from then, I just became really obsessed with grunge. And then, of course, being from New York City, the punk scene, and everything kind of just trickled down, And I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what really got me obsessed with drums, because I loved Matt Cameron so much. And then that was when I was like, I want to be a drummer. And I saved up all my money, and I ended up working all summer just to get a drum kit. And I had gotten a Tama drum kit. And so I started with low drums, but I didn't become like a Portnoy or anything like that. I wanted to be like Matt Cameron. Yeah. And then everyone around me was like, no, but you're a singer. And my dad bought me a guitar, and then I started playing guitar and bass. I love the bass and the drums the most. Yeah. But, there was so many guitarists, so many bass players, and my brothers were drummers. So I'm like, okay, one of you guys got to be my drummer then. And, it's kind of like fast forward. I really became obsessed with Danny Carey from Tool. And I became obsessed with Tool. So that was kind of the music that started me off loving drums. And then my dad, of course, loves Led Zeppelin and, like the Perts, like that kind of, like, I grew up with all the great drummers, Bottom. Like, my dad always saying, this is a drummer. This is a really good drummer. And so I became obsessed with drummers. And I just respect them so much because I felt drummers were the heart of the music, the heartbeat and the rhythm, And so that's why I'm here, I think. I've always promoted a lot of drummers because I felt like they're in the back, but they're like the most important, I think, to me, because the of course the singer is really important, but like the drummer's holding everything tight and knit, And I feel like they never had enough attention and enough respect. And I always said, if you have a great drummer, that's 70% of like what really the band is gonna really be holding. Because if you have a shit drummer, God bless you, because it's gonna be tough out there. But if you have a solid drummer, then you're 50% there, and I always thought that they carry a lot more than what people see, and they see everything go down. They're in the back, so they see everything happening in the front.
So
but grunge was very big, very very big growing up, and Chris Cornell was the one. He was originally a drummer also before he became a singer.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So when I see somebody say they're a big Chris Cornell fan, I can start talking about Chris Cornell and all the bands. Temple of the Dog, also. So I've seen him. I think out of all the musicians, I've seen Chris Cornell more than any musician before. I'm glad that I was able to see him in like his solo. I saw him. My first concert was Lollapalooza. Soundgarden
Okay.
original days, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
And
I
Audio
know
Slave.
about grunge. Lollapalooza in Sweden were Foo Fighters with Dead Grohl, also from Nirvana. So he's a little bit he's a grunge in it, but he tried to do it in the Beatles way. But it was very powerful. I love Foo Fighters. But also I remember the grunge wave. Also, all those bands up there, they have also made a design art in the fashion and even in interiors and architecture and everything. The grunge style is popular to use. The grunge style
Yeah.
in design.
Was it big over there in Sweden when grunge was big? Was
Oh
it big?
yeah, very very big. Yeah, all those bands, the 5 bands from up there, very very large, very huge. Kurt Cobain when he's passed away there, and his wife, was it wife? Her wife?
Yeah, Courtney.
She started
from Hole.
another career in a new band, and later. Yeah, I remember all this. It's in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Rage Against the Machine broke up and they got the lead singer of Soundgarden and they named it Audio Slave, which I like because a lot of bands, they lose their singer and they keep the name. Well, what do you think about that? I feel like it's a different band. But a lot of them want to keep the legacy, but it's really once the singer is gone, it's kind of like, is it really the same band? Even if they want to sing just like the singer, it's not really the same band. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
So I really respect that they named it Audio Slave instead of saying it's Rage Against the Machine with a new singer. Because they still covered a lot of Rage Against the Machine live when they toured.
I loved Rage when they came up. I remember they had their big hit. They were in the record long life in the UK top list over there in UK. And also played a lot here in Sweden. But also another band I like, Pearl Jam. I don't know if they still are active.
Yeah, they're the last one really standing out of a lot of the grunge bands, you know, because we lost all the good, you know, amazing grunge singers. But I had a friend of ours. He said, "What isn't it ironic that, you know, Pearl Jam is one of the last remaining, you know, grunge bands, and he's singing 'I'm Still Alive.'" And I was like, that's awful, but yeah, that's crazy, because it is. He's still alive and he's still touring, and I'm glad to see a lot of the bands I grew up with still doing a lot of you know, touring. You know, even though they're older men, they still have that power. They've have that longevity, and it's great to see them still doing their thing. You know, but that just also means there's a lot of room for a lot of people to start a rock band. I feel like it's happening in Sweden, in Germany, in Switzerland, in the Netherlands. There's a lot of people playing instruments and getting really freaking good at them. But in the States, it's a lot of trap beats, a lot of R&B. So it's like when you see the mixture happen, like Sleep Token is a band that's really big now here, and they came from the UK, but they're mixing trap, R&B, metal, rock music, and that's why they're blowing up. And they were like the biggest album that came out this, you know, in the last year. So it's great to see that. But yeah, I feel like especially here in the States, in New York City, California, you see a lot more of like the other stuff than the rock and the heavy metal. So I feel like that's why it's a little bit more easier to get noticed if you're actually out there doing it, you know, and really promoting the metal bands. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring a scene again back to New York City. So go vote, guys, because, you know, rock is still alive, and there's still a lot of bands out here trying to like get attention with being, you know, in the rock genre. I think it's still alive. It's still well, but there's not a lot of people playing in the States. You know, there's needs to be more drummers, more guitarists, you know, putting themselves out there and being more into social media and putting yourself out there. You know, like right now, what you're doing, you're into like the promoting, being on Instagram, being on podcasts.
Yeah. Also, I heard in Nashville there's 500 drummers, professional drummers, that just staying waiting for a job in all the studios around it.
Wow. Yeah, Nashville is very big right
true.
now. That is true.
Yeah, probably it is. So many songs they produce, they sounds the same, almost the same.
Yeah. That's why I think you know, being innovative and not being afraid to think outside of the box and have that kind of mixing of genres and playing with different sounds and I think that's really a way, like Rage Against the Machine, when they came out, there wasn't no other band that really sounded like that. You know, that
No. Wasn't the guitarist started playing with Bruce Springsteen later than I think on his tours. I love to listen to Rage, and also I've seen some live shows on television from them. So good energy.
Yeah.
So
they're back together now. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I think we're like to the.
Yeah, we get your last song, number 12, and then we have a bonus one after that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the bonus is another one. Money. That you remember ABBA?
Yeah. Money. Must be funny in a rich man's world. My mom loved. I'm telling you, my mom used to have a VHS, and I used to love watching all the music videos. Knowing me, knowing you. Like I loved all the music videos. They're so beautiful. The four of them, and it was like they were almost like couples, right? Like the redhead, the blonde. They were all gorgeous, and then I loved ABBA for real. I did.
I think I wasn't that age. I was born '61. I think when ABBA came out, I was not a fan of them.
No.
I listened to complete other music than them. Yes. I was more in the hard rock and the glam rock, and
that was my dad. My mom was the one that was obsessed with ABBA. My mom was romantic, and my dad was like the metalhead out of my parents.
Yeah. But that song, "Money," this is a cover, because those guys, Nils Landgren is a trombonist and he's a good singer. And all those guys around there is funky players. As they play it in the funky style and the hip hop singing, and it's so very, very good cover they do there. So I think I should show you a Swedish production from a Swedish band ABBA. So Money is by Nils Landgren. Funk Unit is their name, and the drummer is from Germany. Is Wolfgang Hafner. Really tight drummer. He's very, very tight playing. So that's a good song.
Is it the same? The Money? It almost has similar. Was it the same producer that did Voulez-Vous?
Yeah, they had. Michael B. Trito was the engineer that did all the ABBA mixing and all those. He was a little bit of the architect of their sound. And he passed away for just 2 weeks ago, I think.
Wow.
He's behind the sound from ABBA. So yeah, they use the same, but Björn and Benny, the two guys in ABBA, they are really, really good producers themselves, because they've done so many other stuffs around in both Sweden and England, huge productions with other things. And now they have the Avatar here in Sweden. I mean, it looks like 20 years old.
Wow.
Speaking of producers, we're gonna hit the bonus track at number 13.
Oh yeah.
So you've done work on this track.
Yeah, we did one first track of 7. It's a soundtrack of a life from a friend of me. She's a sister of another artist, singer, songwriter. Salmani is their last name. And I started to produce that song, Her name is Charlotte Salmani. She's Swedish. She's doing very good texts in her all about her lives, and do it first by her own with guitar play, and then I take it over, listen one time on it, then I try to redo it everything from the beginning in the music. So I produce it, try to meet the text, what it's about in the music. So this song, first song is called Ballad I Guldregn. So if I say it in English, Ballad in Gold Rain. Ballad,
Yeah,
it's not like a ballad. It's more it's a little bit of Pink Floyd, a little bit of psychedelic, it's a little bit of kind of, It's very little special. You can listen to it, and all the other guys listen to this. You can just listen to this.
Yeah, Pink Floyd is like one of my top bands because I grew up listening to a lot of that.
Så länge det måste ta slut. Gud, vad jag trodde jag sökte min vän. Men Gud, vad jag gråtit i dörren.
It sounds a little strange here.
Trots utan begär. Jag målade inget, bara sanningen här. Så hur gick du runt mig? Hur fann du min själ? Jag trodde du levde, ville mig
So
you-
cool.
You did the drums.
Yeah, I did.
Beautiful, beautiful sound, and so clear and crisp, like the sound of the production.
Yeah, this is heavy. We made. I tried to find. I constructed my own, and we were looking for a sound. So I took like a bow in metal, and put a rope between there. Then I use it as a when you play violin,
Yeah.
Oh.
We took it on the bass, and drew it up and down with that rope, and that special lower sound that became up there. So it's very heavy.
That's pretty
bass.
unique.
Yes.
I mean, Lars
Nice.
he's just doing all these things. His mind is always working. And so you designed a bow for a unique sound on the bass. How genius is that?
Is that a gong?
You can either think inside the box or outside the box. So you can do
Right.
both if you want.
I gotta start thinking like you and start thinking about like obscure sounds we can add to
Because
our music.
that's what I love about progressive music too. Because like I said, I grew up, my dad always played Pink Floyd, Deep Purple. I grew up with all the best music around me. And so I feel like it's all that, all the little sounds, all the little nuance, all that stuff adds to like the perfect just things that you need to hear that you don't even realize makes the song. It's those little details.
Yeah.
Lars, you are amazing. I feel so happy that I got to know you more and you gave us this time and space to be with us. I am so honored to know you.
I wish I will meet anytime in the future, sometime. Maybe New York, maybe here, maybe somewhere in Europe.
Hey.
Would
I
be
would-
a pleasure.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, me too. It was great talk.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Everyone, if you're watching this late, you'll see the whole thing again later this week. We'll have it available publicly. But make sure you're following Lars and his work with Rhythm and Arch, and his, I guess your other company, in your architecture company. If you need some interior work done or expansions, I'm sure he can help out in some way. So reach out to him. What's the name of the company?
Oh, it's the same as my last name, Enegård Architecture.
Enegård Architecture.
Architecture.
All right. So make sure you're following him. And
follow.
yeah,
Instagram. Yep.
Instagram everywhere. Check out his websites. And
Instagram. Yeah.
and then check the any drum events that he goes to. You could test out the system that he has created, and maybe one day you'll see it on stage from these touring drummers.
All is welcome, everybody.
Yeah, and it's great. I played on it. I love it. It's awesome.
Ah, nice to hear you doing
So
that.
maybe one day I'll have one in my collection.
I send you one.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But
Come with me.
hey, we'll wait till the tariffs are over, right? We'll work on that.
Yeah, I work on the tariffs in the States in your country.
And you are always welcome to come visit anytime, and we can do whatever you want. It'll be an awesome time.
We'll take it to some fun spots when you're in New York.
Oh, great. It's an honor.
An honor and
Welcome.
pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you again so much. And thanks everyone that tuned in. And yeah.
Lars, stick around. Don't go nowhere.
Thank you.
We're gonna
Thank you.
say our final goodbyes after this. Everyone else, thanks for tuning in, watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching anywhere else, subscribe on YouTube because we're expanding on YouTube and everywhere as well. So hope to see everyone again real soon. We have another show next Sunday with Scott Yule, who is an amazing YouTuber. Come in, check him out. More details to follow this week. Have a great night, day. We'll see you soon. Much love.
Much love.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.